Good morning, sir, and good morning, classmates. Today I will be reporting about my case study on BPO transition. Overview of the company entity. The largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas and one of the largest in the United States, Baylor Scott and White Health was born from the 2013 combination of Baylor Healthcare System and Scott and White Healthcare. Today, they're looking forward to the future of healthcare for everyone, a future we're building together. Known for exceptional patient care for more than a century, the two organizations serve adjacent regions of Texas and operate on a foundation of complementary values and similar missions. Baylor Scott and White Health includes 48 hospitals, more than 900 patient care sites, more than 6,000 active physicians, 40,000 employees, and the Scott and White Health Plan. The visual representation of their system strategy is called our core. At the center of our core are the personal commitments of their employees make to advance their work for the benefit of those they serve. Our mission, founded as a Christian ministry of healing, Baylor Scott and White Health promotes the well-being of all individuals, families, and communities. Our ambition, to be the trusted leader, educator, and innovator in value-based care delivery, customer experience, and affordability. Our values, we serve faithfully, we act honestly, we never settle, we are in it together. Our strategies, help provide seamless and exceptional quality care by transforming into one high-performing team. Experience, to create customers for life, driving loyalty by empowering consumers and delivering on the brand promise. Affordability, to reduce the financial burden on our customers and invest in our core by relentlessly driving down the total cost of care. Alignment, ensure consistent results through a streamlined team approach and unified operating and clinical models. Growth, create value for those we serve through the pursuit of sustainable growth initiatives. Perspective, point of view of the case study. The incident of Baylor Scott and White Health was obtained from Dallas News. The researcher obtained the overview and the history of the company from the site of Baylor Scott and White Health itself. Upon further research, the researcher found out that the company previously had a larger round of layoffs of about 930 employees to cope up with the COVID-19 damage to their company. The SWOT analysis of Baylor Scott and White Health came from another case study about Baylor Scott and White Health on their leadership and change management. Time context. The problem was observed on December 7th of 2020 when Dallas-based Baylor Scott and White Health said it will lay off 102 employees in finance and accounting roles as part of an effort to reshape operations and reduce costs. According to the Dallas Morning News, the cuts follow a much larger round of layoffs in June 2020, where about 932 Baylor employees were ultimately let go. At that time, the company also cut the pay of 300 senior leaders, including reducing the salaries of both the CEO and president by 25%. Short historical background of the company. It all began in 1897, when Dr. Arthur C. Scott Sr. and Dr. Raleigh R. White Jr. enter into full partnership and their reputation grows rapidly. They are soon approached by the Whatsoever Circle, the temple chapter of the International Order of the King's Daughter and Sons, and a benevolent society to work in association with its new hospital called King's Daughter Hospital. Dr. Scott and White worked with King's Daughters at 1903. Baylor University Medical Center at Dallas is established as Texas Baptist Memorial Sanitarium. Chartered on October 16, 1903 by the state of Texas, the hospital began in a 48-room renovated house. Baylor is founded through the efforts of several individuals. Initial effort began in 1900 with Charles M. Russell, MD, a medical leader in Dallas, who saw the need for a hospital of great importance for a growing city like Dallas, and which would support the University of Dallas Medical Department. Later, Baylor College of Medicine. Secondly, Reverend George W. Truett, pastor of First Baptist Church of Dallas, convinces Dallas citizens to build a great humanitarian hospital. Thirdly, Colonel C.C. Slaughter, a devout Baptist and wealthy cattleman, gives a major gift of $50,000 to a established hospital. At 1904, Dr. R.T.C. Scott Sr. and Dr. Raleigh R. White Jr. opened their own hospital, Temple Sanitarium, in Temple. Later in the year, they purchase and convert the abandoned St. Mary's Catholic Convent for use as a permanent hospital. This structure becomes the nucleus of the facility that consists of 31 buildings scattered over 5 blocks. On 1959, Baylor University Hospital is renamed Baylor University Medical Center to reflect the multiple hospitals and services on the Dallas campus. A new and expanded Women and Children's Hospital replaces Florence Nightingale Maternity Hospital. All Saints Episcopal Hospital opens a new 9-story, 365-bed hospital to meet the demand for healthcare. In the decades that follow, the hospital expands its services, establishing the Moncrief Cancer Center with a $2.5 million donation from Mr. and Mrs. W. A. Moncrief in honor of their 61st wedding anniversary. Later, the Moncrief Ambulatory Care Center opens and the Carter Rehabilitation and Fitness Center begins offering cardiac, pulmonary, and orthopedic-related rehabilitation, along with a fitness center featuring an indoor heated pool, spa, track, aerobics, resistance training equipment. Dr. J. Pat Evans became one of the first surgeons in the country to practice only sports medicine. Before it is recognized as a subspecialty, in 1978, Baylor University Medical Center Foundation is created with an initial endowment of $5 million to support the activities of Baylor University Medical Center at Dallas. Boone Powell Sr. is the founding president. The first Scott and White Regional Clinic opens in Moody, Texas. This begins changes and growth that lead to a new Department of Family Medicine that staffs 60 regional clinics serving 35 counties. Now, the largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas and one of the largest in the United States, Baylor Scott and White Health includes 48 hospitals, more than 900 patient care sites, more than 6,000 active physicians, and more than 40,000 employees. Current situation that leads to its problems. Amidst the pandemic, Baylor Scott and White Health laid off about 1,200 employees, nearly 3% of its workforce. Like other health systems across the nation, Baylor Scott and White is facing financial damage caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The health system spent $85 million to prepare and respond to the pandemic, and it also saw a significant drop in patient volumes. One means of restructuring work, namely outsourcing, has spread from employers contracting out functions to other affiliated or non-affiliated employers in the United States, to employers contracting out activities to affiliated or non-affiliated employees located outside U.S. borders. The latter business practice is referred to as offshore outsourcing or offshoring. Labor and operational costs are some of the reasons to outsource your service. With hiring local talents, you are required to provide salaries, all required benefits, and workspaces for their jobs. 9% of non-seasonal U.S. layoffs in the first quarter were due to outsourcing, but less than a third of the work was sent overseas. The U.S. Labor Department said in releasing new figures on mass layoffs and outsourcing, this is because most outsourcing countries such as India and Philippines have low cost of living. A minimum of $500 per month can go a long way, with bonuses and benefits already covered. That is why Dallas-based Baylor Scott and White Health said it will lay off 102 employees in finance and accounting roles as part of an effort to reshape operations and reduce costs, giving the duties of the affected workers will be outsourced to a third-party vendor in India. Statement of the problem. 1. Should Dallas-based Baylor Scott and White Health continue to outsource their finance and accounting roles in India? 2. What can the company do to support the laid-off employee through the process? Area of consideration, SWOT analysis. Strengths. Largest not-for-profit healthcare system in Texas and one of the largest in the United States, Baylor Scott and White Health. Baylor Scott and White Health plan. 81% of employees at Baylor Scott and White Health say it is a great place to work compared to 59% of employees at a typical US-based economy. Weakness. The hospital saw a significant drop in patient volumes. Facilities are located in Texas only. Opportunities. Baylor Scott and White Health will outsource their finance and accounting roles to a third-party vendor in India. Baylor Scott and White Health is continuously looking for ways to reduce costs and improve their ability to provide affordable and quality healthcare for our patients and members. Threats. Like other health systems across the nation, Baylor Scott and White Health is still facing financial damage caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Stringent government regulations. Alternative courses of action. 1. Baylor Scott and White Health outsourcing should continue to outsource their finance and accounting roles in India because they faced financial damage caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, and they saw a significant drop in patient volume. Advantage: reduce labor costs, remain competitive, and they can hire a person that they need even if they're far away. Disadvantages: we lay off local employees. The company may receive complaints from the laid off employees. The company is at risk of internal jeopardy. 2. As the company outsources, they should make sure to support their laid off employees as they go through the process. For example, they can help their employees by referring them to other companies that they can work for. Advantages: we reduce the impact of displacement to employees. The company won't get a single complaint from those who were displaced, and the company can continue to undergo the BPO initiative. Disadvantages: additional costs for the assistance to employees, additional work. Some employees may not be satisfied with the assistance provided. 3. Baylor Scott and White Health International personnel should manage the transition and change management of the BPO initiative. Advantages: will avoid further loss of money. The company can continue to the implementation stage. There will be clear communication between the company and the vendor. Disadvantages: managing the BPO transition can be difficult. Additional work and undergoing the BPO transition may result in failure. Conclusion: the study about the Baylor Scott and White health incident provided a clear understanding of the ripple effects of BPO in a particular company. Managing job loss and changeover is assuredly amongst the most difficult challenges that managers face. No matter what the cause of the upheaval, the employee's reaction is normal response of a company when the said company outsources its work processes to an external provider. Recommendation: it is recommended that the Baylor Scott and White Health continue to undertake the BPO initiative and outsource their financing and accounting roles to India. When a company outsources their work processes to an external provider, usually the main reason are to reduce costs. Given that the Baylor Scott and White Health suffered financial damage and faced a significant drop in patient volume, it's just right for the internal personnel to come up with a way to reduce labor costs. It is also suggested that Baylor Scott and White Health take care of the laid-off employee and come up with ways to support them as they go through the process. They can help them find a new job, early retirement program for senior employees, and even financial aids. Applications of topic to case study. The incident of Baylor Scott and White Health falls under the topic of BPO transition. The transition phase of the BPO life cycle is a true turning point in the BPO project. The organization is now implementing change. As stated before, managing job loss and changeover is assuredly amongst the most difficult challenges the managers face. It was observed that Baylor Scott and White Health will lay off 102 employees as an effort to reshape operations, giving the duties of the affected workers to the third-party vendor in India. A thorough analysis of the cost of a BPO project will include projected job losses and job shifts. The list of individuals targeted for termination should be carefully guarded. Managers should receive thorough training on the procedures that will be used with the terminated employees.